Hi guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make my Thai Massaman curry. It's a little bit different today. Normally I would use chicken or lamb, but today I'm doing a vegan one. So I'm using a selection of vegetables and some tofu. So let's get started. So being a vegan curry means we're going to use a lot of vegetables and we're going to treat the veg just as we would with meat. So we're going to roast them just to extract all of that natural flavour. So I've got some peppers, some baby corn, some carrots, and then some aubergine. Pop them all into a baking tray. Pour over some vegetable oil. Season with some salt. Add half a teaspoon of red chili flakes. A few pieces of clove. A few pieces of star anise. And a cinnamon stick, which I've just broken up. Mix all of that together, marinate well. And then straight into a hot oven for about 10 minutes. Okay, now that the vegetables are roasting, the next step is to prep our tofu. So I'm using a firm tofu and it's in some liquid, so it's really important that we just pat it dry. So I'm just going to use a paper towel and squeeze out all that moisture. And then we're just going to dice it into chunks. I don't want to do it too fine, I want to keep it quite chunky. To marinate the tofu, add some vegetable oil, season with some salt, a little bit of red chili powder, a little bit of turmeric for a bit of colour, a little bit of ground coriander, and a little bit of ground cumin. And toss all of that together well. Pop that onto a baking tray. And we're going to let that roast for 5 minutes, just so it gets a little bit crispy around the edges, no longer than that. Okay guys, so my tofu and my vegetables are in the oven roasting nicely, so now it's time to start my Massaman curry. So first we're going to go in with some vegetable oil, about 2 tablespoons. Now a Massaman is quite an aromatic curry and I've struggled getting some of my usual Thai ingredients. So what I'm going to do is make use of some sort of Indian spices, but which are still using Oriental cuisine. So first I'm going to go in with a cinnamon stick, a few pieces of clove, and a small piece of star anise. And I'm just going to let that just warm through in the oil. And it's already sizzling, which means that it's releasing their own natural oils. So those spices are just releasing their own natural oils and flavours, and it's so aromatic already. Then into the spices I'm going to add some chopped ginger. That's about a thumb-sized piece, quite roughly chopped garlic. That's 3 cloves. And then what I've done is taken a lemongrass stick and I've saved the top of it and the bottom bit, which is a bit more softer, the bulb. I've just taken that and roughly chopped that as well. And then I'm going to use the stem a little bit later on, but for now in the hot oil I just want to fry off those beautiful ingredients. Now my garlic, ginger and spices are fried so beautifully. They're just coming along so nicely, releasing their own aromas. So now into that I'm going to add in 1 large chopped onion. And when I fry my onion, I always help them along a bit with some salt. So I'm going to heavily season that onion. Quite a bit of salt in there, but I promise you guys you will need it. And I'm just going to let that onion fry for about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to keep that on there. Whilst the onions are frying, I'm going to check on my tofu because that's had about 5 minutes now. And that's what my tofu looks like. Nice, crisp, and it's picked up some colour from those spices as well. So I'm just going to leave that on the side to rest whilst we carry on with the curry. Okay, so my veg has been roasting for about 15 minutes now, so it's time I gave that a check. It should be done about now. Amazing. That sizzle. So that's what my veg looks like. and it's just beautifully charred, almost soft, not quite, so that's perfect. I'm just going to leave that on the side. Right, time to check on my onions. Oh, amazing, they're coming. Beautiful. I'd say another few more minutes and they'll be ready. Okay, so my onions have been frying for about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to give them a check. Wow, okay, so they're coming along beautifully. Perfectly browny. And that's the kind of colour you want for this sort of dish, just so there's a bit of caramelised flavour, that nice sweetness coming through. In fact, I think we're almost ready now to go in with the next step. So what I'm going to do is add some spices in there, which is a bit of a Indian twist. The Massaman does have spices in there normally. So I'm going to go in with half a teaspoon of ground cumin powder, half a teaspoon of ground coriander powder, half a teaspoon of paprika, and this will just add a lovely colour as well as depth of flavour. It's great to get some colour from your spices. A little bit of turmeric, just because I want it a bit more deep reddy colour than yellow, so not too much turmeric, and half a teaspoon of chili powder, and then about a quarter teaspoon of red chili flakes. So I'm going to pop them in, fry them out for about a minute, not too long, and already the colour's just transformed, the aromas are different, it's just built up a bit more flavour. And that's what I love about Southeast Asian cuisine, it's all about layering your flavours. Beautiful. So I've just stirred those spices in. Now this is on a low heat, so my spices don't burn. Okay, so into the spiced onions, I'm going to go in with some Massaman curry paste. Normally I would make my own, but I haven't been able to get out and about to get the ingredients. So I'm going to go in with 3 teaspoons of a shop bought Massaman paste. But there's so many authentic ones in the market now, and they're just as good as making it yourself. Just going to stir that in. Now I've kept this on a really low heat just because I didn't want the spices to burn. But now that I've gone in with a cool paste, my pan's cooled down, so I'm going to increase the heat. Take that up to about a medium flame. Okay, so that's my spiced onion base, which will create the base flavour of the curry. What I'm going to do now is just cover that with a lid and let it cook for about 2 or 3 minutes. Just let it saute, let the flavours just release their own natural oils. When you see some oil separation, you know it's done, and we'll go into the next step. Now, as the curry paste is frying, it's going to lose a little bit of moisture because it's becoming a bit more concentrated and it's separating with the oils and the spices. So to help that along, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid. Now, if you remember earlier, I had a bowl which I marinated my tofu in, and there's some spices in there, and I don't want to lose that flavour. So I'm just going to go in with half a cup of boiling water. And this is what we call deglazing the pan. I'm just going to kind of remove those spices and flavours, and that will be wonderful just to add back into the curry. So we're not going to waste any flavour. So let's check if the paste is ready. Beautiful. So as you can see, it's all concentrated. There's a bit of oil separation going on. Just comes together wonderfully. It's reduced down. So what I'm going to do is loosen that up with my boiling water. Carefully pour that in. The sounds. Beautiful. Gently, gently going to stir that in. And now we're getting there. Now it's starting to look like a curry. So before we add in the coconut milk, there's one more step I want to do. Now at this stage, I would add in all my aromatics. A bit of galangal, lemongrass, lime leaves. However, I only have my half stick of lemongrass, so that's going in. We've got saltiness in there, we've got some spiciness in there. I want to add a bit of sweetness now, so a little bit of palm sugar going in. Just some granulated palm sugar, which is a wonderful ingredient with Southeast Asian cuisine. Let that melt in there. Beautiful. And again, the colours change, the flavours change, the aromas change. We're just building on all of those flavours now. So the next step is to go in with some coconut milk. So this is just 1 can, which is about 400 ml. Pour that in. waste not, want not again. Okay, so when you stir in your coconut milk, you'll have this lovely colour, and it's just like a pale reddy orange. What I'm going to do now is put the lid on and let it simmer for 5 minutes, just because I want all of those flavours to come together and just simmer with the coconut milk. So medium heat, lid on, and just let it simmer for 5 minutes. And I'm back. So it's been about 5 minutes of my sauce simmering, so we'll just give that a check. And it's just started to come up to the boil, which is a good indication that it's almost ready. Give that a stir. The flavour's just got slightly deeper, the colour's got a little bit richer. Perfect. So now that that's boiling, we're going to go on with the next step, which is to add the vegetables that I didn't roast. So here I've got a can of water chestnuts. That can go straight in. And some mange too. Now with this kind of dish, folks, don't be precious over what you've got. Honestly, anything will do. I mean, I like to use up veg that I have lying around in the house. And it just so happened that I was lucky enough to have some mange too, some baby corn, some aubergine, so I could use those. But you know, peppers, carrots, anything will do, peas, frozen veg. It's not really like a fine dining dish, it's quite rustic, so make it your own, add whatever you've got, guys. So that's my veg. Next I am going to add in my tofu. So this is the tofu that we roasted earlier. I'm going to gently scatter that in. Beautiful. Now I'm happy with the texture of the roasted veg, so I'm going to put them in right at the end, but I need to allow the tofu to soak up some flavour, and I need to allow the veg that hasn't been roasted to soak up some more flavour and just soften as well. So I'm going to leave that on there for about 2 to 3 minutes, lid on, and we'll let that simmer. So my tofu and veg have had about 3 minutes of simmering there, and you can just see it's bubbling along nicely, which means we're ready to go in with the last of the veg, which is my roasted vegetables. And like I said, they're not going to take any time. I just want them to be submerged in the sauce. They don't really need to be simmered much. So I've got aubergine, carrot, peppers, baby corn. Literally, I used up what I had in the fridge, and that's great about dishes like this. Now, I'm not vegan, but if I was, I'd be very, very happy with this dish. Just fold all of that in. Amazing. Oh my god, this looks so nice. Okay, so whilst the veg is just simmering along nicely and warming through, I'm going to finish off my last of the ingredients. So with what's going on, I haven't been able to get some Thai basil, but normal basil's fine. So I've just picked some normal basil leaves. I'm not even going to chop them, just rinse, and they're fine whole because they're quite small. And then I've got some fresh coriander with roughly chopped leaves and stalks as well. Beautiful. And then the last of my fresh ingredients is lime. I'm going to go in with half a lime juice. This looks so nice, so time for a taste test. I'm just going to get a bit of the sauce. So good, so delicious, so aromatic and rich and creamy. Everything I wanted it to be, and that took me what, half an hour? Brilliant. Only one thing left for it now, guys, time to serve.